South Florida right now seems pretty calm, doesn't it? Nationals and Marlins. This is the middle of a 3-game series. Nationals winners last night. The Fish having trouble against these Nats of late. Marlins part tonight where the Fish and the Nats play game 2. Christian Yelich, D. Gordon. Marlins trying to bounce back, keep Trey Turner off base, and get rolling, or at least stop this slide. Rich Waltz, Todd Hollandsworth. For the Marlins, the pattern had been when Giancarlo Stanton hits a home run, the ball club wins. I think that's what makes last night so painful for them. They got a Stanton home run and did not win the ball game.
Well, they have to finish the ball game, and I think that's what it comes down to. Listen, they've been held down by the Nats. Nats have great starting pitching. They've got a pretty good bullpen now. Yeah, they're going to have to find a way to score a few more runs. That has been the story all season long. That's where it's gotten a little different. Yesterday's home run was Stanton, but where was the rest of the offense to go along with it?
Stanton's breaking records and breaking hardware. Expensive hardware. This pitch to right field. Banged off one of our cameras. Broke the lens. But that's all right. You know what? All in the name of number 53.
Well, let's hope the final destination is somewhere in the 60s. I personally believe that's where it's going. So, yes, we'll talk about this along the way, number 53. How about the approach? Great to see. Stanton's numbers, obviously, as well as some of the Marlins' numbers have been down here in this homestand. But a Stanton, a great approach. I think that might lead to something tonight. He's got good numbers against Strasburg, including 3 home runs. But a home run to right field, he rediscovered right field, if you will.
Stephen Strasburg has rediscovered his magic against the Marlins. His last time out, just his 2nd career complete game.
Well, this is about as big a mountain a ball club could possibly climb when you look at what Strasburg did his last time out, what he's been done his last 5 starts against the Marlins. These are all big numbers. 5-0 in those 5 starts, 1.46 ERA. What a changeup, what a curveball. Listen, no batting practice today. I think it's a great call by Don Mattingly and the Marlins. Listen, don't go out there and beat yourself up. Just take what you can from the last start and see if you can't do something with it.
And be careful when you pitch to Strasburg. He homered in that last start as well. Idrisamer Despagne gets the ball for Miami.
Well, he's not coming off his best start, but he's been throwing the ball pretty well. Has thrown the ball well here at Marlins Park. You're going to look at the 3 fastballs, the sinker, the 4-seamer, and the cut fastball. Always big, but both guys going in tonight's ball game have really good changeups.
Emails and tweets tonight. Marlins try to stop the slide, try to beat Stephen Strasburg. And it's social media night, kids. Nationals and Marlins getting ready to go. Emails and tweets tonight. Fish trying to bounce back, trying to stop this skid, having dropped 7 of their last 8. So to get us going, let's head down below. On the fields, our social media expert, Jessica Blaylock. I had to draw that out. I don't want you talking over the anthem there.
I actually really appreciate that, Rich. Thanks so much. Hey, it is hard to believe, but it is the final month of the regular season. There are so many great storylines still unfolding around Major League Baseball. So for tonight's Twitter and email Tuesday, we want to know, what are you keeping an eye on for the month of September? Send your tweets to @FoxMarlins. Your emails can go to foxmarlins@gmail.com, and be sure to use that hashtag #SeptemberBaseball. Here are a few Marlins players on which headlines have caught their attention in the month of September.
Well, obviously, around the league, you want to see how the playoff race kind of turns out, and and as for us, we're trying to stay in it. So, but for us, one of the things is G's home run total. Trying to see if he can climb past that 61 mark, which would be pretty impressive. I think it's already been a pretty impressive season for him if he was to stop right now. So, we'll see. We still got a little bit of baseball left, so a lot of stuff to look for.
When you look around this locker room, you definitely see one name that pops up among the headlines, and that's Giancarlo Stanton. Watching, around the league, I think a lot of people are watching to see, how many home runs he's going to hit. And, this is a team game, and we're trying to go out and get W's, but it's also impressive just to watch him do his thing and, see what kind of goals he can accomplish, by himself.
I'm just keeping up on the post-game scores of all the guys down in Jacksonville, grinding through the playoffs in the last stretch of the season. I'm really pulling for them, but, got a bunch of buddies on that team, so it's nice to see them.
And I'm with Brian Anderson. I'm keeping my eye on Big G. I think he hit 63 this season. Odrisamer Despaigne going to take the ball tonight for the Marlins, who are looking to get in the win column after a rough start to the month of September, but they will have their hands full with Steven Strasburg, who was sensational the last time that he faced the Fish.
Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by the all-new Jeep Compass. By Supercuts, save time. Check in online with our mobile app or at supercuts.com. By your local Toyota dealers, let's go places. And by Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. In Miami, Nationals and Marlins. The Fish Canceled batting practice today. Give everybody a little bit of a, not an off day, but just a chance to catch their breath. And a tall order for Odrisamer Despaigne. Not only is he up against Steven Strasburg, but he's facing a Nationals lineup that has superlative numbers atop many of the important categories in the National League. Southwest brings you the batting order of Dusty Baker's Nats. Trey Turner, Lake Worth product. Alejandro De Aza gets a start in left. Daniel Murphy and Anthony Rendon absolutely clobbered the Fish last night. They drove in 7 runs combined. Adam Lynn, Jason Worth. Michael Taylor's a Fort Lauderdale product. Pedro Severino gets a start behind the plate. And Steven Strasburg will hit 9th.
Odrisamer Despaigne on the mound for the Marlins tonight. Still looking for his first Marlins win. He's been throwing the ball pretty well here in the second half. Very well at Marlins Park on the season. 225 ERA, 207 batting average against. You'll see the four-seamer, the cutter, the sinker, his fastball. He throws it an awful lot. His changeup's a very good pitch, an occasional curveball. But moving the ball to both sides of the plate, very, very important. Lefties hitting 281, righties 190 against him this year.
All right, defensively, here is Miami behind the Nationals.
Well, no batting practice. That doesn't mean there's a whole lot of lineup changes today. There certainly is not. Here's your Marlins defense. Ozuna, Yelich, Stanton. That's your outfield, always is. Anderson, Rojas, D. Gordon, Dietrich at first base. JT Realmuto behind the plate. Odrisamer Despaigne.
Trey Turner checking things out with Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire. Nick Lentz, Paul Emmel, Quinn Walcott also out there. The men, they used to say in blue, but that's kind of a black and gray outfit tonight for the umpires. Turner, of course, missed a big chunk of the season with a wrist injury. And Despaigne fires a strike. This ball game is underway. Turner 0 for 4 last night. The thunder last night from the Nationals came in the heart of the order. Daniel Murphy 3 for 5, drove in 3. Rendon homered, drove in 4. He had 3 hits as well.
Despite the 0 for last night, Turner having a nice return to the major league roster. 5 for 18 on the current road trip. Double, triple, couple RBIs, 3 runs, 3 walks. So contributing in a lot of ways.
Despaigne's fastball misses in. This is just start number 4 for Despaigne. And 3 consecutive after coming back out of the bullpen and back up from New Orleans. Breaking ball misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
28 1/3 innings on the season, 14 walks, 16 strikeouts. What's that tell you about Despaigne? He pitches to contact. He's really at his best when he's not walking hitters.
Sharp ground ball finds Rojas, who straightens up, fires to first. Derek Dietrich over there. And there's 1 down. A good start for Despaigne. So challenge tonight, slow down a Nationals offense that came alive and scored 7 times last night, and figure out a way to score some runs against Steven Strasburg.
Well, that might be key number 1 when you think about how the Marlins need to win, and usually how they've won this season. They've scored runs. They're one of the best teams at producing after the dismal May. They've really been one of the better offenses in all of baseball.
And a strike.
Alejandro De Aza gets the start tonight. He's not put up big numbers since coming up to the Nats.
De Aza slices one into center field for a hit. Yelich has to pick it up. Now you get into the thunder portion with Murphy and Rendon. Ryan Zimmerman has the night off. He was sandwiched between them last night. He had a double in 3 trips.
Nice piece of hitting from De Aza. Felt like he got the start tonight. That outstanding catch he made last night to end the ball game. Tyler Moore of a home run. Well, Daniel Murphy certainly woke up.
Murphy's one of those hitters that throughout his career has never really had prolonged slumps. Such a consistent swing.
2 for 13. It didn't last very long, right? He got all of it back last night. Double in the gap, home run to right.
In his years with the Mets, he was always a line drive machine. Always hit about 285, 290 on the season. And then blew up in that 2015 postseason. The tweak in his swing. change in his approach, and ever since then, it's no longer just line drives. It's damage, and lots of it. Changeup misses out, and it's 2-1.
He really just simplified things on his front side. If you watch Daniel Murphy swing, he gets his foot down early, but he turns his hip in. He's got his on his right foot up on that toe. See, there you go. That's how he generates power. He turns the hips in, closes, and then opens them back up as he gets ready to swing. There you go. Here's a good look at it. See, he wants to get that front foot down, so pitch recognition starts early.
That one fouled back. And the count 2-2. Oh, the Nationals' magic number reduced by 2 last night because the Marlins are the ones that are trailing them. And there's no doubt the Nationals are going to win the East. Two. Pitch is down low. Magic number was 12 last night, down to 10 tonight. They can drop it to 8 with a win here tonight. Dusty Baker. And 3-2 count with Diaz at first base. Runner goes. Murphy hits the runner, hits Diaz, and so Diaz is out. Murphy gets to first. Murphy's actually going to get a base hit out of this. And Diaz a bruise. Hardly seems fair, doesn't it?
He's hobbling around out there. Didn't get the best of breaks, but watch this. Even looking, catches him on the legs. All right, watch him peek with his. He's going to turn back right there, and he's thinking, all right, it's behind me. Oh, it catches him on the right heel.
So it goes as an infield hit. And here is Rendon. Murphy, when he got to first, asking, hey, what happened? Rendon happened last night. I mean, 2-run homer in the second that erased Miami's 1-0 lead, and he didn't stop hitting until the night was over. He added a 2-run double in the 7th, also singled in the 3rd. He drove in 4. He sits at 90 runs driven in and 23 homers. See that 948 OPS. And you add Rendon's defensive metrics, and all of a sudden you've got a guy who's very valuable. His name is in that most valuable player conversation.
5 games this season with 4+ RBIs, including last night's ball game. Now twice against the Marlins.
Ball in the air. Anderson is there, and he makes the catch. And Odrisamer Despagne gets through the first. Marlins get their first swings. Big G coming up against Strasburg. And a good eye on Steven Strasburg. Marlins lineup looks this way. It's brought to you by Southwest. Gordon in the leadoff spot. Giancarlo Stanton hit number 53 last night. You see his career numbers against Strasburg. Very good, including 3 home runs. Christian Yelich, Marcelo Ozuna, JT Realmuto, Derek Dietrich, Brian Anderson, Miguel Rojas, and Odrisamer Despaigne.
Here's your Auto Nation scouting report of Steven Strasburg, 6'4", 235 pounds. Short-term memory loss. The Marlins need that today, coming off a complete game shutout, second of his career. Of course, it was against the Marlins August 30th in D.C. 8 Ks, 110 pitches that afternoon. Oh, by the way, he homered. Here's what you need to know. He's well rested. Now he's making his 58th career start with an extra day of rest, but it has benefited him throughout his career. Typically, extra day of rest, better results. Time for a change. I'm talking about his changeup, most effective pitch. 134 batting average against. It's not the curveball. 109 swing and misses against that changeup.
There are bats in this lineup that have had individual success against Strasburg, but lately the Marlins have had absolutely no success against him. Changeup, little dribbler out towards second. Murphy approaches and a quick flip gets the out, and that sets up Giancarlo Stanton now against Strasburg. Now, we showed you Stanton's individual numbers against Steven Strasburg, and they're good. He's got the 3 home runs. Of course, the Marlins just saw him on August 30th. Stanton faced him 4 times, topped out, bounced out twice, and flied to center. Goes after a first pitch fastball and fouls it into the seats. Similar pitch last night, he hit out to right field.
I think it's an approach that will benefit him against Strasburg. We've told you, great secondary pitches. Listen, he's got an elite fastball, 95 plus. His curveball and his changeup have been absolutely awesome this year. Just horrible numbers for the hitters, and that's why he's been so good. Last 5 starts against the Marlins, 5-0 with a 1.46 ERA. He's having a fantastic season, arguably the best season of his career.
And we said it last week, if this is what the Nationals get when the postseason opens in October, that's a huge boost. If Strasburg is rolling like this, look out. Adam DeScherzer, Gio Gonzalez is going like he's going. 1-1. 90 miles an hour. A changeup.
Well, he just completed the best 5-game stretch. Not that he's done with it, but I cut it off at 5. Best 5-game stretch of his career. He's got a .9 ERA over his last 5 starts.
One-two almost grazed him. One thing we saw in D.C. is that Strasburg added and subtracted to just about everything, whether it was fastball, whether it was changeup. Now that guy knows a thing or two about adding and subtracting.
Well,
Mike Maddox, pitching coach,
certainly speaks to feel and where Strasburg is at right now. He's got the groove going on.
And swings and misses and strikes out.
You're seeing the trust, so much so that Giancarlo Stanton gets your attention, but the changeup, the fastball, and the breaking ball have all shown themselves to the second batter of the ball game. Who's that second batter? Giancarlo Stanton, and there's your breaking ball. That's how tough Strasburg has been of late. 2.23 ERA in 12 games on the road. Post All-Star break, as I said, .9 ERA. 30 innings, he's only given up 18 hits.
Yelich now rolls one over the middle into center field. And the Marlins have a hit here with 2 outs in the first. Don Mattingly canceled batting practice after watching the ball club last night. And on this skid, here's a look at the Yelich swing. On this skid, the Marlins have lost 7 of 8. They're 3 of 55 with runners in scoring position. And there are certain hitters, it's tough to take them out of the lineup.
Right.
Every win's a must win. But Marcelo Ozuna last night was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, so canceled batting practice, and we'll see if that has any type of boost on the psyche of this ball club.
Got to give your players a breather somewhere, but you can't take them out of the lineup. What are you left with? Cancel batting practice. Not a bad idea. Listen, they took batting practice before the last Strasburg start.
Didn't go so well.
Ozuna's average still at 305. And look, Ozuna 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts last night. And he had some struggles in the Phillies series for sure. And 0 for 5 on Sunday. But remember, Saturday, he drove in 4 with 3 hits, including his 32nd homer. So he's not that far off from a big night.
No matter what you say of late, he's having a monster season. He's one of 4 players with 30 homers and 100 RBIs and a 300 batting average. That's right. Paul Goldschmidt, Arenado, Jonathan Scope with the Baltimore Orioles, and Marcell Ozuna, 32 home runs, 107 RBIs, 305 batting average. It's a small collection of powerful hitters.
Ozuna cuts and misses, and it's 1-2. I think for the Nationals, the challenge is just keep Strasburg on the mound. Keep him healthy through September into October. Whether it's neck or shoulder or back or impingement in the elbow, he's been on the disabled list 8 times. Obviously, the most severe, most serious was 2010 when he had Tommy John surgery. One, two. Pitch is in. That changeup tailed down and in. And Ozuna back to even the count at 2-2. You got Real Muto on deck. And he chases. Ozuna does. Strasburg strikes out 2. That breaking ball got Stanton and Ozuna. Game on. Marlins and Nationals. Top 2 in Miami tonight. Emails and tweets. We have not yet opened the email box or the Twitter folder. You can tweet us at Fox Marlins, email us foxmarlins@gmail.com. Madrisamer Despagne and Adam Lind face off here. And a strike to Lind. Jason Worth, Michael Taylor will follow. Lind has been a valuable piece for the Nationals. Was pretty much a left-handed bench player, pinch hit guy, and man, has he been great in that role. There's a liner, but as a starter, he's done this, and that is hit and hit with damage. Lynn pulls in at second base, and he opens up the second with a double.
Extra base machine. It's a starter, 284, 11 doubles, now 12. Watch him stay on this cut fastball, line it down the left field line. Line to line has been Lynn's game all season long. Got a few hits down the left field line against the Marlins this season, well over 300. Marlins in business, excuse me, Nats in business here in the second.
Jason Worth. And Worth takes a strike. Jason Worth on the disabled list for a long time. A bone in his foot broke when he fouled the pitch off of it. Took them a while to diagnose that.
Well, he came back against the Marlins up in D.C. and quickly hit a long 2-run home run to left. His current road trip, he's 0 for 14.
Despagne, of course, a veteran, longtime veteran of Serie Nacional in Cuba. He's 30 now. Like a lot of Cuban pitchers, he's got a variety of arm angles, release points. Tries never to throw the same pitch twice. Grew up patterning himself after Orlando Hernandez, El Duque.
He technically has 4 fastballs.
Do you have to register those with? That's Worth pushing the ball to the right side. Despagne's there and gets the out. That's I mean, if you want to know why the Washington Nationals are in first place, is because number one, they're talented, but even their talented guys, and a guy like Worth buys in. Look what he's trying to do here.
Well, with 2 strikes, he's trying to get the ball to the right side in play, and he does it successfully. Dietrich over to field it. Not an easy play right there. That's the in-between toss. Despagne does a nice job getting over to first base, but yeah, you see the swing. Emergency hack, kind of letting the ball get deep, avoid the strikeout, and put the ball in play. You see the Nats, a lot of times they play for early leads, and you'll see some bigger swinging as the game goes on if they get that lead.
Michael Taylor now. Taylor last night an 0 for 4. He's had a fine year as well. Filling the gap in center field that was vacated when Adam Eaton went down for the season. Breaking ball misses away, and it's 2-0 among the many injuries. Speaking of injuries, Bryce Harper still injured, but working out on the field before the game. Batting practice for the Nationals. Harper went through a variety of throwing drills.
Yes, pushing off with that knee. There's a good look.
Understand as well, he was up at the University of Miami facility here in the ballpark, working in the zero gravity exercise machine. Get you in there, get you on that treadmill. Of course, our Craig Minervini was the one that first got in there back when the ballpark opened in 2012. So
how'd that go?
Great, great. He doesn't swing as well as Harper does, but Harper was in there today. Infield in on the right side, halfway at short. Lind is the runner at third. 2-2 from Despagne. Pitch is in. There it is. Anti-gravity treadmill. And you essentially get in a little harness that takes some of the weight off, but enough of a workout that you're still able to utilize and get range of motion with your legs. Taylor sends it deep and foul. The other training device for that is the Swim X, which almost all major league clubhouses have now. Heck, NBA, NFL, NHL. And the Marlins, I believe, have a pair of them in there. And it's essentially you get in a pool and you can do your work, your leg work against a current. So for any leg injuries, both of those are at the top of the list these days. Lost him. Taylor walks, and Severino comes up with one out.
Yeah, that's the one part of Taylor's game that has really improved this season, the ability to work an at bat. He certainly did just there. Despaigne very careful in pitching to him. Missed with the fastball away.
Rojas and Despaigne not only chatting, but both wanted to see what JT Realmuto put down in terms of signs. And that's for the defense in this first and third spot. You do have speed with Taylor at first, not so much with Lind at third. And Severino is 3 for 11 this season. Lines one into right field. That's a hit. And the Nationals are on the board first. And it comes from their number 8 hitter, the guy that just arrived from the minor leagues, Pedro Severino.
Well, maybe 3 for 11 on the season. That is his 3rd hit with runners in scoring position. 2nd RBI on the season. Jumps on a first pitch, 2-seam fastball. Eyes don't lie. He's looking to go the other way. Gets the reward, the base hit, and the RBI.
Strasburg now up there, and he's trying to bunt runners up. Remember, Strasburg not only went deep, but he went opposite field deep, right center field,
right
at Nationals Park.
But he also had a day, though. Every ball he hit that afternoon was hard. And another base hit in that game. He lined out to center field as well.
That's a good bunt. Gordon gets to first. Marlins last night hurt themselves failing to get a bunt down. Strasburg gets it down here, and that sets up this Trey Turner at bat.
Well, 1 star to go. Strasburg maybe would have been swinging the bat. Not now that Trey Turner's back in the leadoff spot. 303 with runners in scoring position on the season, 26 RBIs. There's a lot of things out of the leadoff spot for this Nationals team.
I think one of the things in his absence, the Nationals learned that they've got a nice player in Wilmer Defoe.
Sure do.
Breaking ball, Turner hits it well. Yelich back there, makes a catch. And the damage limited to 1 run.
where the Nationals have struck first. It is a 1-0 game in the bottom of the second. There are the standings as far as the wild card race in the National League. As you can see, Arizona, one of the teams that the Marlins are chasing. Now, the Diamondbacks recently had a little bit of an injury scare with Paul Goldschmidt. He had to head back to Phoenix, get an MRI on his elbow. He was dealing with some lingering pain and stiffness. Now, the good news for the D-backs, that MRI revealed that it was just inflammation, so Goldschmidt expects to be back in the lineup for Arizona starting tomorrow. And guys, that is a significant piece for that team. Arizona has to be thrilled with that news.
You are right about that, and they are red hot. Realmuto takes a strike. 0-1 the count. JT leads it off, pushed down 1-0. Derek Dietrich, Brian Anderson will follow. Emails and tweets tonight, and we're going to open it up with a doozy from Marissa. Realmuto pulls it foul. What precautions should all teams take with signs in light of today's story that the Red Sox have been using electronics to steal signs? Could be a big problem in Major League Baseball. How can they fix this problem? And first, let's dig a little deeper into that story. 0-2 down low. Now, you know that in all Major League dugouts now you can use a tablet, and we've talked about the caveat is you cannot have connectivity. You can't have any sort of communication with that tablet.
No ordering pizza during the ball game?
No. Or talking to somebody in the video room or somebody watching a live feed. Commissioner Rob Manfred confirmed today that the Red Sox used electronic communication from the dugout to steal opponent signs and relay them to Boston players during the game. Baseball's investigation is ongoing. Manfred spoke from Fenway Park, of all places. He expects the investigation to be completed before the end of the regular season. Realmuto shoots it into right field. That's a base hit.
Well, maybe for JT, that's what the doctor ordered.
Well,
the dose of Steven Strasburg.
Last night, he hit 2 balls extremely hard and could have easily had hits on both of those.
Well, certainly. I've got to claim ownership for JT. But the only thing that went wrong with Steven Strasburg's last start is JT Realmuto. He was on everything all day long, and he starts off tonight with a nice base hit to right field.
And so here's Dietrich now with Realmuto at first. News of this investigation first reported by the New York Times. Now, Major League Baseball does not have a policy against sign stealing, but they do have a rule against the use of electronic devices in the dugouts for communication purposes. Major League Baseball corroborated with their own video. The commissioner's office confronted the Red Sox, who admitted that the video replay personnel were getting signs and relaying them to players. And get this, Major League Baseball had video of the Red Sox trainer looking at his Apple Watch and then relaying information to players during a series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Okay, so back to the original email question. How do you prevent that if you are the Marlins or the Nationals or any other team?
Oh, well, I know the answer to the question. I'm just not sure everybody's going to like it.
No Apple Watches?
Take the toys away.
Yeah, you sound like a parent. That's
take the toys away. No, you take the toys away, that doesn't happen.
There's a 1-1 to Dietrich. It's foul back to the screen.
I mean, this is an art that's been going on since baseball was created. Whether it's guys at second base, peeking in, I mean, you know, all sorts of things. I mean, we've heard this conversation in my entire lifetime. It's gone on everywhere, every level. From what pitchers are throwing, did that ball hit the dirt? Is there a scuff on it? To stealing of signs. What's the catcher putting down? You know, I mean, all of it.
Dietrich asking for time, and he steps out. 1-2 the count.
I think what will be interesting with this is the level, as how not only how deep does this go, but to what detail does it get to? Is it merely just stealing signs?
That's a liner right to Linz. My goodness. Dietrich hit it right on the button. a bullet. Lind was almost in protect mode, and Real Muto had no chance to get back.
That's right, because he's 2 shuffle steps off. This is right at Lind, almost knocks him over. Watch him go up with both hands. Watch this. He's going to end up on his heels. This is how hard this ball was hit. Watch this. Wow. It's going to kind of get him. Maybe even a little surprised. JT Realmuto, nothing he can do.
Brian Anderson now. He'll get his first Strasburg at bat. Flips that one down the right field line. Worth giving chase. Falls foul.
I think my question, Rich, in getting back to this is, I believe the last part that you said that there's an ongoing investigation to the depth of this and that there'll be some answers by the end of the season.
Right.
Is that good enough? I mean, is that good enough for people in baseball? Let's remember that Boston's got a 2.5 game lead over the Yankees right now.
And
wow,
this story does indicate there have been suspicions that this has been going on for a while.
Well, what's the penalty? Does it lead to a change in the standings? Is there, a loss of some wins?
Anderson rolls it to third. Rendon crossed the diamond in time. Some bad luck for the Fish, and a 1-0 Nationals lead. Lead. Third inning arrives here. Emails and tweets tonight on this Tuesday. Burgers and beers on Friday. And of course the Brewers are here for the next Burger and Beer Friday. Get a burger, a craft beer, and a game ticket that starts at just $30. Burgers look good. Burger sounds good right now. I would like a burger right now. Just having watched that. Right? I mean,
who wouldn't want a burger?
Right.
Great time. It's dinner time.
I can't have the beer.
Yeah.
But I can have the burger.
I hear you.
Alejandro De Aza rolls that one up the third baseline. See, he's got a burger.
Yeah, I think that's production rubbing it in right now is what I think is going on.
Did he just put like a mountain of mayo on there?
Yes. It is a Hurricane Irma burger.
Loading up before the storm is what you're saying?
Exactly right.
Carbo loading?
That's right.
I don't know that that's carbo. I think that's more caloric. Here is Alejandro De Aza with Daniel Murphy, Anthony Rendon. Also due up. Little flip into left center. Charging is Ozuna. Ozuna's there. He makes the catch. So an out for Despagne. Murphy and Rendon lined up. John wants to know, when will we know the status of games coming up with the pending hurricane? We bought good seats for 3 games next week, 18th, 19th, and 20th. If the games are canceled, will they refund the cost of our tickets? I'm sure if the games are canceled, they will refund the cost of the tickets, John. But at this point, that's pretty early to say. That's another weekend away. So let's keep your fingers crossed that everything works out. And if there's baseball when the Marlins get back. And by the way, just in reading headlines in baseball, one of the headlines is that the Marlins are allowing the players and traveling party to take their families with them on this road trip to Atlanta and then to Philadelphia. That certainly eases the minds of all the baseball families, for sure.
I will say this, I couldn't be more grateful to Mr. Loria for doing that. Somebody who is new to Miami again. The preparation that goes into Hurricane Watch.
Daniel Murphy, right center and deep. Stanton at the wall, leaps, and he got it! Giancarlo.
Outfield defense has been special in this series. He made a fantastic catch coming in last night. How about this one going back? Plenty of hang time. Stanton does a nice job getting to the wall, times the leap. Oh yeah,
and
believe it.
Yeah, that's a home run if he doesn't catch it. Over that short wall is a home run. Bonefish catch of the game. Great fish, great cocktails, great times. Head to Bonefish Grill. There is a space between the top of that wall and the black wall behind it. The black wall is the old wall, and anything off of that is a home run.
Throughout this homestand, you definitely say that the bats might be a little tired right now, but the defense has been on its game, particularly the outfield defense. Yelly made a great catch last night. Ozuna's had a couple running catches as well. Stanton right there. It's 2 nights in a row. Getting back to that, Mr. Loria certainly extended, obviously to the families and everybody else. From my family, very appreciative. Very, very appreciative of the circumstances. Didn't know what to do. Didn't even know how it works.
Breaking ball in the air. Stanton stays on his feet for this one and makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 for the Nationals in the 3rd.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Miami Marlins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and the descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins.
1-0 Nationals on top. Steven Strasburg has been almost unhittable of late. In fact, he's got 22 scoreless innings in this run that he's on right now. Miguel Rojas, Odrisamer Despaigne, and D. Gordon for the Fish. And Strasburg misses outside. His last 5 starts against the Marlins, he's won them all, and the ERA is a minuscule 1.46. That's pretty good. Emails, tweets. Here's a tweet talking about sign stealing. It's from Ruben. Do you think Bill Belichick had anything to do with the Red Sox? I think that's piling on. I don't think so. Maybe as a consultant, I don't know.
10-yard penalty for piling on.
Fastball in.
Rojas 1 for 4 last night, 4 for 16 on the homestand. Does have a double, couple RBIs.
There's a strike. John wants to know any thoughts on Aaron Judge in the American League Rookie of the Year award.
Meaning,
you think he is the American League Rookie of the Year?
Oh, is he getting upended, or is his second half
right
causing any kind of damage? I don't think so. I happen to look.
No one in the rear view mirror?
Well, you know, and maybe we could go there if you want.
2-2. Rojas swings and misses.
The thing with Judge is this. You should go look at his numbers. Despite his second half struggles, he's still got 38 home runs. He's got an OPS right around 950.
So there's.
Can you give me better?
So there's money in the bank from that first half.
well, and I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to say it, but you're right. I mean, is it equity? Is it money in the bank? But when you get to the end of the season, isn't 30 home runs 30 home runs?
Yes.
I mean, you know what I mean? Whether you have 12 in April and you have 16 the rest of the way, or whatever, 18 the rest of the way, I know we tend to kind of get that way, but I don't think in this conversation he's at 38. He's probably going to hit 40 home runs this year. He's probably going to have an OPS over 900, even if he were to continue to, let's say, hit 2 more home runs and struggle the rest of the month. I'm not sure there's a way he is not the Rookie of the Year.
There you go. You answered the question very good with a nice impassioned argument. 1-1. Despaigne takes outside. Mr. Dimples wants to know. Actually, he says Mrs. Dimples wants to know, is Marlins Park hurricane-proof?
Like, see, that's the question. When I said last inning I didn't really know how to prepare, like, that's a great question, but I don't really know how to answer. What does that mean?
Well,
I mean, all I know is what I've been told by Floridians, people here in South Florida, and there's been so many people who have been very gracious with their knowledge of hurricanes time this week. What do we got?
Well, we got Craig Minervini. Craig?
Oh, there you go.
Hey guys, I do know this, and actually there was a show on one of those TV shows where they talked about the engineering marvel of this roof. It has a way of, they go into a special hurricane lockdown, and there's some area there where it allows some of the air to get in so as not to create too much pressure. There's actually an area where some air can flow underneath and sort of level out. So it is made with this in mind. I'm not sure the exact MPHs, but it is made. They have a lockdown, and they will go into effect, I believe, after the ball game tomorrow, into this hurricane lockdown. So we'll see. But you're talking for a big hurricane, 180 miles an hour. If it hits that part, who knows? But it's made for a major hurricane, which is more than, I think, Category 3.
Good to know. D. Gordon bounced out back in the first. Stanton's on deck, and a breaking ball. A strike, and it's 0-1.
Strasburg, so good right now, not just tonight, over the last 5 or 6 starts. Any pitch, any time.
And a line drive into left field, the base hit, and D. Gordon's hit streak is now at 9 straight, and that gets Stanton to the plate. Second time through against Strasburg.
A nice piece of hitting. Here's the changeup. Circle change, bottoming out, low corner, little tailing action. D. Gordon, nice approach, stays on it, lines it the other way. Just back to ball. only the 12th hit this season against Steven Strasburg's changeup.
So now you've got Stanton. On a 2-2 pitch, he chased a slider that darted out. He got a first pitch fastball, swung at it, and fouled it off. Gordon a big lead at first. Strasburg is better at controlling the running game than he was early in his career.
Early in his career, high leg kick, slow delivery. Slide steps a little bit more. See that little rock back. Much quicker.
Fastball misses up to Stanton. Giancarlo's home run last night was to right field. Lifts that one into the seats. Inside Look brought to you by Toyota. Career homers, active players under 28. Stanton 261. Mike Trout is next. We got Freddie Freeman, Bryce Harper, and Nolan Arenado.
Impressive list.
Stanton, it's a high fly ball to right. Taylor and Worth, and it's Taylor who's under it and makes the catch. 3 innings in, 1-0 Nationals. It's the 4th. The final Corona Light Marlins watch party is on Thursday the 14th at Brews Room. It's Brews Room Sports Grill, Bird Road, this location. Marlins and Phillies, 7 o'clock. DJ Vertigo, Billy the Marlin. Giveaways, prizes. Go to marlins.com/appearances. Adam Lind in the box. Odrisamer Despaigne turns and fires a strike. And it was Lind that got things going with a double in the second. He would score on a Pedro Severino RBI single. Despaigne gave up 2 hits in the first, 2 hits in the second, and then 3 fly ball outs in the third. Look out, bat, ball, everything's flying. Dietrich's got the ball. The bat ends up by Gordon. And Lind is out number 1.
Nice pitch by Despaigne. Getting in on the hands. This 2-seam fastball. Hello. just above the top hand of Adam Lind. Jason Worth, a ground out, his first time up, a productive out, 2-strike, ground ball to the right side, got Lind over to third base.
We are getting a lot of hurricane questions as to whether Marlins games will be postponed. The Marlins have a game tomorrow night here and are flying out after the game. Fish will be in Atlanta for a 4-game series, have an off day in Philadelphia next Monday, and then a 3-game series, and won't return here until late Thursday, actually early Friday, and that's almost 8-9 days away. So let's just worry about everybody getting through the hurricane first, and then we'll figure it out from there. 1-2 pitch misses outside.
Still my understanding they really haven't determined the path come this weekend.
I will leave that for the talented women and men who do that for a living.
And that just means you don't know where it's going either.
Boy, you're stirring it up tonight. All right, here's one for you. This is from Anton. Can you show us or tell us what you mean by 2-seam and 4-seam fastballs, and what's the difference?
Well, it's a cross grip. We actually have a ball up here. I certainly can.
All right. So that means let's wait to this at bat, and we'll get into the 2 and the 4-seam stuff.
Pitch by Despagne, his first strikeout of the night. Take another look at it. Doesn't throw too many breaking balls, 77 miles an hour. Jason Worth probably surprised as much by the pitch as the location. All right, there you go.
First pitch fastball.
Give you a quick look. All right, you got variations. Typically 2-seam grip, split finger. You got 2 seams right on my fingers. A lot of guys will throw it different ways, and these pitches all do different things. That's basically your 2-seam. A 4-seam fastball. I'll show you this ground out right here.
Pitching 101 is going to have to wait, right?
Right there.
That's
no, I got it in. There it is. That's your 4-seam fastball right across cross seam. There you go. 4. There you go. That's quick.
It is still a 1-0 ball game. It is also a Twitter and email Tuesday. Tonight's special hashtag is September Baseball. We want to know what storylines have caught your attention. Here are a couple I have seen on Twitter. For Betty, she wants to know if Giancarlo Stanton can get to 62 home runs. For Ryan, he is keeping an eye on Brian Anderson and Dylan Peters. Those two both off to a tremendous start with the Marlins. And for Nathan, the playoff race. That's what has got his attention. Guys, what about for you? What are you keeping your eye on in September?
Well, September for me is about who gets hot and who stays hot. And right now you've got the Cleveland Indians and the Arizona Diamondbacks are the two hottest teams in Major League Baseball. I think as far as the Marlins go, you obviously want to see the team get back to their winning ways and find some way to stop this slide, get some wins, get back over 500 and see what they can do from there. And then look, who doesn't want to see Giancarlo get into the 60s and have a great ride through the end of September?
I completely agree. Yeah, my eyes are dead set on this Marlins team and getting the offense going. This stage of the season, as you enter September, every team has defined its winning ways, how they win ball games, even for the teams that have dismal records. Just a particular way they play. Curveball again from Steven Strasburg. Yelich out on strikes. For the Nationals, pretty obvious, right? You got Strasburg, you got Scherzer, you got Gio. Take another look at this curveball. See how it gets to the bottom of the strike zone. But again, the Nationals' offense this year has been dynamic. Almost didn't even matter who you put in the lineup; they score runs typically. Now, since May, the Marlins have had real strong production from the top 5 or 6 spots in their lineup pretty regularly. Now that's cooled off a little bit, but it's a big part of what they do, and it's how they win games. When Giancarlo, Marcell Ozuna, JT Realmuto, Justin Bour, Dietrich had a nice August. When the offense is rolling, D. Gordon's doing his thing, everybody's involved. They seem to, as a team, play better, pitch better, and defend better.
Well, that was one of the hard things about last night. Stanton homers, and the Marlins did not win that ball game.
Usually one thing leads to another. Usually that home run leads to a 3-run, 4-run outburst, not just involving Stanton. Usually the rest of the offense comes to life as well.
Ozuna cracks one into center field. A 1-out single. And the Marlins now have scattered 4 hits against Steven Strasburg, but trail in the ball game 1-0. Marlins Live tomorrow night. Get you ready. South Florida Honda dealers bring it to you. It's Roberto Clemente Day throughout baseball, and the Marlins nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award is that man, D. Gordon. The Clemente Award is for players and their service in their community. It goes above and beyond getting base hits and striking out hitters. Flash of hope and striking out poverty are 2 of the big initiatives for D. Gordon. He is proud of both, and we are proud of him. So good luck to D, and we'll be celebrating Clemente and his impact in Latin America, in Major League Baseball, in society. I'm sure we'll have a few photos of the Roberto Clemente Museum in Pittsburgh. Last year we had a chance to go in there and see all the artifacts, see all the cool photos surrounding Clemente, the Pirates. JT swings and misses. Count 1-2.
Well, this in some ways happened last start against Strasburg. Marlins did get 6 hits against him, but they were isolated. They'd love to string a couple of hits together and see what they could do.
Realmuto swings and misses at that one. Severino had the ball in the dirt and he knocked it down. All right, before Dietrich gets comfortable, as we look at this sharp slider. You had a chance to show the grips on the 2-seam and the 4-seam fastballs. Explain the difference to a hitter.
Well, to a hitter, I mean, it really is. I don't know if for a hitter, it's not necessarily knowing how or what he's doing. Well, here's the deal. Let me explain it this way. The 4-seam fastball is your traditional pitch. It typically generates the most spin. Pitchers who have high velocity, a lot of times will throw it at the top of the strike zone. I'll show it to you again. This is the 4-seam fastball right here. Well, we'll wait 1 second. And that's the grip right there. A lot of times you'll see the fingers, a lot of times will be close together, acting as one, and they're across the seams in the baseball. So you get it like this. This ball, and as an outfielder, even as an infielder, this is traditionally what you reach into your glove and you try to spin to, so that when the ball comes out, you know that you're throwing it straight. And that's what you want. Derek Dietrich goes to a backhand. He's playing third base. As he's reaching into his glove, a lot of time you can spin that ball real quick. Boom, you pick it up. You kind of teach yourself how to do it and even play with it to spin to it, so that when you throw the ball, it goes straight. It doesn't dart, doesn't cut, doesn't dive, doesn't do anything. Now, you start messing around with this, yeah, that's the ball's going to do different things. You're also taking the rotation off of it as well. So there's not as much spin, which typically gets the ball to sink. But for guys in arm angles, this is obviously a more complicated conversation, and I'm also not a pitcher, but I do know a few things. Is that if you start to do this, the ball will tend to sink or to run or to do some different things. But again, there's not nearly as much spin on this pitch. This one's a lot harder to control. I find it very interesting. Like, Jose Urena has been great with this 2-seam fastball in the second half. You say, well, what do you mean? Why has he been really good? In the first half, he wouldn't use his 2-seam fastball nearly as much. Why? It wasn't because guys were hitting it. It's because he couldn't throw it for strikes. In the second half, one thing that he has possessed very well, which is this 2-seam fastball, and he throws it now a little bit more towards the middle of the plate, and he does it. It seems like he's almost throwing it at about 90%, and it just darts to the outside corner, and he's getting a lot of strikes that way. In fact, it's become his primary fastball, where in the first half, his 4-seamer was his primary fastball.
Anton, it took us a while, but we finally got there. Thanks for the email. Dietrich hit a liner that turned into a double play right at the first baseman, Adam Lind. That erased a Real Muto single in the second. Ozuna runs, pitches down low, throw is high, and that goes into very shallow center field. Oh, it's a strike. Dietrich strikes out. And Dietrich's still at home plate right now with Brian O'Nora. Here comes Don Mattingly as well. And right now, Mattingly and the home plate umpire, 1-0 Nationals. on top of the Marlins. It's the 5th. All right, here's a look from this side. Watch the glove. The glove actually hits Dietrich's hands. Pedro Severino back to the scene of the crime, the catcher for the Nationals. A better angle we'll show you in a moment, and that is from behind. It wasn't the throwing arm or the throwing motion that collided with Dietrich. It was the glove of the catcher.
Now you're going to see he's going to reach out with that glove, and it catches Derek's hands on the bat.
I don't know, though. I mean, if you watch the glove.
Well, interference can be defined in a lot of ways. Clearly, they believe that that contact there messed with the throw.
That's strike 3 call. John Mattingly wasn't real pleased. I guess the question is, as a hitter, how do you prevent a catcher from swinging the glove out and making contact in that case?
Well, it's obviously in the hands of the home plate umpire, but I didn't think Derek did anything wrong right there. I mean, you do see a swing, you know, and I don't know if this is about crossing lines or not. I mean, literally the lines of the batter's box. But you know, to me, it looked like Derek was inside the batter's box. You know, sometimes you'll see that called when a hitter will fall across the plate sometimes or chase a pitch out of the zone. So let's watch one more time. See Derek kind of getting his hands ready, getting him set, and he's going to check his swing. See right there, he kind of goes down, but see, in my personal opinion, he's in the box. I don't see that as interference. That's almost created by the catcher.
Strasburg rolls it. Anderson flips it. All right, this is a better idea of where Dietrich is in the box. You know, if his hands are hanging out over the plate, I'm all in, but.
And that's hard for me to tell right now. I'm with you. See, like that's what I'm saying right there. And I think that's where it gets called, because there's definitely a little bit of contact. You see the home plate umpire obviously point to the contact and call interference based on that. But I agree, as a hitter, it's always my understanding that the box was yours and you're entitled to it. And in fact, a lot of times you'll see a ball, you know, get away from a catcher in the batter's box. You don't have to move. You're not obligated to get out of the way of the catcher, which I find very interesting, because we're watching this right here. It almost feels like the contact was created.
Trey Turner busted bat, ball into left field, and Ozuna's there and makes the catch. Well, Odrisamer Despaigne with an 8-pitch 5th inning. 1-0 halfway through in Miami. Marlins Baseball, Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by the all-new Jeep Compass, by Hankook Tires. Chase down your passion, never halfway. And by your South Florida Chevy dealers. Nationals a 1-0 lead. That run came from the bottom of the order. In the second inning, Pedro Severino, an RBI single. Steven Strasburg has had some traffic on the bases. In fact, the Marlins have had a base runner in every inning. They've scattered a hit in each of the 4 innings. 6 strikeouts, no walks. Strasburg's scoreless inning streak survives now. It's at 24 in a row.
All 4 hits singles. 3 of the 4 innings he retired the first hitter, so scattering those singles. Love to see Brian Anderson get on right away if he can.
Don Mattingly actually came out for another conversation with the home plate umpire Brian O'Nora on that batter's interference. Anderson pulls that one wide of third. Strasburg and the Marlins saw each other last week. It was a long day for the Fish, a 4-0 Nationals win. 58 pitches here. Because of the Tommy John surgery, because of the other injuries, the Nationals have been very cautious with him throughout his career in terms of pitch count, letting him go deep. And that day game in DC was just his 2nd career complete game.
110 pitches that day.
Anderson drives that to center field. And it's caught by Michael Taylor. Fox Sports Sports is proud to team up with Snowball Express and their commitment to providing new happy memories to the children of our fallen heroes from 9/11. Snowball Express provides an annual life-changing event to make each child feel special. We remember. Visit foxsportsupports.com for more. Alex wanted to know, was Anderson supposed to be leading off the inning? Doesn't the scoring go Ozuna was caught stealing and Dietrich should be out? The actual scoring is Dietrich is out and the play is dead, and it goes 2 unassisted on the putout. So it's not a caught stealing for Ozuna. It doesn't go as a caught stealing for Severino. Will be interesting, and maybe that's something tomorrow night to go in and talk to Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire, as to how much can a catcher initiate the contact. If he reaches over with his glove like that, takes a swipe at a hitter's hands, if the hitter's hands are over the plate, they're probably fair game. And that one was I guess borderline for both. His hands weren't over the plate. They weren't necessarily deep in the box either. 0-2. You got Despaigne behind Rojas. This has actually prompted some good discussion on Twitter. Brian wanting to know, there's no doubt in his mind that Severino slapped Dietrich. He thought the hitter had to make the attempt to move, and Dietrich did not. Todd, you're a major league hitter yourself.
No, you don't have to move.
If you're in the box.
As long as you're in your box, you're right.
There you go.
As long as you're not stepping across the plate or anything else like that. You have a space up there as a hitter that is yours, all yours, the batter's box. As I said, if there's a, let's just use this view for example. If there was a ball that was in where Rojas is, he doesn't have to get out of the way. Now, what times usually happens is you watch a catcher almost like a fumble in football. Once that ball starts to roll around, he'll start pushing anything and everything out of his way to get that baseball.
2 pulled. Jess, you all right down there? John? Oh, we don't have John Tuitu tonight. But I think Jess was down there. Jess? All right. Mark Griffin's okay. Jess, all right?
Just got the heart rate going a little bit, but other than that, I'm all right.
Craig's clipboard, I don't think is available tonight.
No, and I have my clipboard, but it's not as sturdy as his steel one. It's just a wooden clipboard, and he's told me I've needed to upgrade many times.
Rojas shoots one into right field. That's a hit. And it'll bring up Despaigne, and it'll bring up a response from Craig. Craig?
Well, we're going to talk with Claude Delorme, the Executive Vice President of Operations and Events, and we're going to look out to left field, I beg your pardon. And Claude, this is really going to be, of course, we all hope the storm goes out to sea and doesn't affect anybody, but you're preparing for it to hit the area, and this ballpark was made with this kind of intention to withstand a hurricane. How so?
Yeah, when we designed it for a Category 4 storm. So starting tomorrow, we're going to start installing some flood panels. We have 29 flood panels. Gives us 10 feet elevation above our flood level. And it's important for us to get that started. The majority of the work will get done Thursday. It involves concessions, all of our partners, and every level of the ballpark and inside and out. So it's going to be a full load of work on Thursday so we can be ready for the storm this weekend.
It was a fascinating video and actually documentary on the ballpark on Discovery. What is it that allows the air in, and how does that help?
Yeah, when we've got 3 panels on the roof, so we have a 16-foot panel when you're looking on the east side, just where the fixed roof is and where it closes with the seal. So we have a 16-foot opening there. Center panel is 10 feet, and on the west side 10 feet. That allows the air to come in and come out, and avoids having the uplift pressure on the roof, which mitigates any pressure on a roof operation.
Well, we all hope that everything goes well for all of us here, and it sounds like at least you're doing whatever you can to be ready, huh?
Yeah, we're going to do everything and hope that it stays away. Thank you.
Thanks, Claude. Okay, guys.
All right, thank you, Craig. During the conversation there, the trainer for the Washington Nationals and Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, came out to check on Steven Strasburg. Whatever issue it wasn't discussed for long. Strasburg sort of dismissed everybody, and he's facing Odrisamer Despaigne. That last bunt attempt was just foul. Despaigne bunts it strongly to first. Lynn's throw is in time there and safe. Despaigne getting down the line quickly at first base.
Lynn, a natural first baseman. He's been doing it his entire life. You see him creeping in, gets a couple of steps even before that bunt is down.
Oh, that play at second's close, and the Marlins are looking at it right now. In that camera view, you can't see the ball and the foot at the same time. And now Paul Emmel is coming in. I think the Nationals were also looking at it. The Nationals may have been looking at it for the slide at second base. And it looked like it got him, just got him. And that's what the Nationals were looking at. And probably the play at first as well. So both video rooms working feverishly on that one. Here's Gordon with 2 outs. And the second night in a row, the Marlins have trouble advancing a runner with a bunt. Stanton on deck. Gordon single back in the third. His hit streak is at 9 straight. He's got 17 hits over the 9 games. Count 1-2. Up the middle, Murphy backhands, gets to the bag, and Miami another hit and another stranded runner. 1-0 Nationals. Nothing. Nationals on top, 6th inning in Miami. Geico on this date, 1914, 19-year-old Babe Ruth threw a one-hitter and hit his only minor league home run. Providence beat Toronto 9-0. Of course, Ruth would go on to pitch in the major leagues for a while as well. And he'd do okay at the plate. He won 94 games as a pitcher. 23 wins in 16, 24 and 17. There's how to get a hold of us. At Fox Marlins is our Twitter handle. foxmarlins@gmail.com is the email address. Lance wants to know, will D have more stolen bases than Stanton has homers by the end of the year? I would think so. A little easier to get the stolen bases than to hit home runs. What do you think? He's at 49, Stan's at 53.
That's a good question. Well, he stays hot. Certainly he'll have a few more opportunities to steal a base or two. In fact, his next one will be his 50th. When he does steal his 50th, they will be the third pair of teammates, 50 homers, 50 stolen bases. Obviously Stanton the 50 homers. D doing his part will get the 50.
Good changeup.
Bell and Lofton did it for the Indians in '95, and Sosa and Eric Young did it for the Cubs in 2000.
Was he Albert or Joey at the time? Probably Albert by then, right? 95?
That's pretty early. Yeah, I think it was Albert.
Line drive, that's a base hit. And Alejandro De Aza is on for the second time. This is going to be a leadoff double. It doesn't seem to matter who Dusty Baker puts in there this year. Whether it's Defoe, whether it's Taylor, whether it's Lind, whether it's De Aza.
It's productive. A couple of hits now for De Aza, slashing double down the left field line.
All right, Murphy here is 1 for 2. Murphy hit the ball to right field that Giancarlo Stanton made the terrific leaping catch. And it appeared that he prevented the ball from going out for a home run. Stan going to have to go to the other side for this one. Long run. Giancarlo slides and it pops out of his glove. It's a foul ball. And he gave it his best and just arrived in foul territory right out of the end of the glove.
Well, tremendous effort. Gets over to the line, goes down to the legs, try to get underneath it, much like he did last night. He's not able to keep it in his glove. See a little frustration, kind of had it. In fact, I believe it hit him on the heel. It might have gone, he might have been a little bit too far in front. Tremendous effort. Certainly he'll take that out against Daniel Murphy anytime you can get it, even with a runner on second base. Daniel Murphy will be looking to pull the baseball throughout this entire at bat until at least he gets to 2 strikes. Better situational hitters in the game.
Murphy fouls that pitch back to the screen.
419 runners in scoring position. 105 at bats. He's produced 63 RBIs. Ridiculous.
De Aza leadoff double. Just 1 run up on the board. Both teams have 5 hits. Miami has had a hit an inning against Strasburg. Murphy fouls that one back out of play. Jim wants to know, in light of the news that the Marlins are bringing families on this upcoming road trip, has the team done that before? And yes, it's happened before. 2-2. Busted bat, soft line drive, and it's caught there by Brian Anderson. On a couple of occasions in my 13 years with this very scenario of a pending hurricane and players that have families, broadcasters, trainers, staff, coaches, managers. You don't want to leave your family here with something like that headed this direction. So it's happened a couple of times in my stay here, and it's a giant plane. The Marlins, once September comes, they have a larger plane for all the call-ups. All aboard and head to Atlanta and then to Philadelphia. There's a strike on a fastball.
Espana got a huge out of Murphy. Broken bat line drive to Anderson at third base.
This is much more like Despaigne's start against the Padres. 2-1 win. He went 6 innings through 97 pitches. Despagne, his father, a pitcher in Serie Nacional in Cuba for the Industriales. Francisco Despagne. And he pitched for the Industriales from 07 through 2012. I'm sure there are some that are watching this game in Cuba. Baseball's still not as widely distributed as I'm sure a lot of people would like there. But more and more with internet distribution of games, they are little by little becoming more and more available. You would hope that someday, especially that baseball rich country, everybody could watch, especially with all the great Cuban stars in the game. Anderson, nice short hop, fires across in time to get Rendon. That's 2 big outs for Despaigne. First Murphy, then Rendon, but he still has to get Adam Lind. The rest of September, you can come to a ball game with the ballpark pass. It's just $29.99 for this month. And for more information, download the MLB.com ballpark app or visit marlins.com/pass today. Some restrictions apply. Marlins are going to walk Lind intentionally, and Despaigne is going to pitch to Worth. Worth an 0 for 2. He's bounced out and struck out.
Despaigne had 81 pitches, 55 strikes.
It's 2-1 on Worth. Michael Taylor is after Worth. Nationals a run in the second, and that's it. Despaigne been outstanding. Strasburg likewise. Two and two. Despaign's 2-2 to Worth. He knocks it foul. I told you earlier the announcement by Major League Baseball, and they're finding that the Boston Red Sox have been stealing signs and relaying them to hitters electronically from the dugout. That is sending shockwaves across the game. I'm sure there's a lot of American League teams that are interested in that story. Roller to third. Dietrich has it in fair territory. Excuse me. Anderson has it, and he gets the out. Big G coming up. He'll lead it off when we get to the bottom of the sixth. top, bottom of the 6th. Postseason time for the minor leaguers. Yesterday, the last day of regular season play. Jacksonville in Double-A is in the Southern League playoff series. Best of 5. Justin Bour will be appearing in those first 2 games. And if all goes well, he'll join the Marlins in Atlanta. From Double-A to Single-A in the Sally League. Greensboro against Kannapolis. Both of those opponents are Cincinnati Reds affiliates. So good luck to the Marlin minor leaguers. Here's Stanton now. And Stanton takes a fastball that misses out. An 0 for 2 night so far. He struck out. Fly ball was to medium depth right center. Two and 0. That is way out. And the count 3-0. There's a fan picked out a spot and just waiting. Stanton had a fastball to hit. He fires at it. It's 3-1.
Looks like his approach last night, looking to go the other way. 10 home runs, last 14 home games.
See what he gets. 3-1. Fastball, ground ball. Murphy's playing right behind the bag. Fires to first in time. And Stanton an 0 for 3 tonight. Yelich and Ozuna coming up.
Hard hit. Murphy behind the bag.
Yelich a single in the first and a strikeout in the 4th. Steven Strasburg looks exactly like he did in that afternoon ball game at Nationals Park. His scoreless inning streak is now at 25 1/3. Ball and a strike. Be interesting to watch the Nationals the rest of the way and see if a guy like Strasburg and Scherzer will get extra days off headed towards October. Not so much to let them get stale, but enough that when they jump on the mound to probably face the Cubs in that first round, that they are fresh as they can be after a long season.
Strasburg is pitching with an extra day's rest tonight. Good changeup by Strasburg down in the zone. Continues to generate those swing and misses.
Severino started out again towards the mound, and the Nationals trainer has come to the top step. Brian O'Nora looking into the Nationals dugout. Strasburg, I think, kind of waved everybody off, but Severino, the Nationals catcher, saw something and he started towards the mound. Yelich takes strike 3 called. Strasburg does not look real comfortable right now. And he's actually stretching. That's not a good sign if you're the Nationals.
Just continue to be effective. Definitely something bothering him. You don't know what it is. Maybe the lower back, hamstring. He's definitely wincing.
When a pitcher goes to the back of the mound and bends over trying to stretch, that's not a good sign. Here's Ozuna. And he pulls a ground ball under the glove of Turner. That's going to be a base hit. So a 2-out single, and Miami continues this trend, which is both good and frustrating, in that they have a hit every inning against Strasburg, but they've not been able to do anything with it. And again, there's Strasburg stretching on the back of the mound.
JT Realmuto hitting this ball game. Very nice day against Strasburg. The last start. All the hits for the Marlins tonight. Singles.
Realmuto had one in the second, Gordon in the third, Yelich's was in the first, Ozuna fourth and sixth, Rojas fifth. The Nationals bullpen is quiet. Strasburg, again, as he delivered that pitch, he sort of, I don't want to say he limped into it, but he kind of skipped out of the release off the mound. Something is definitely bothering him. He's had an issue with calf cramps this season. And again, you could see that after the delivery. This is the end of the fifth inning.
Nice block by Severino. Strasburg trying to get through the sixth.
Realmuto swings and misses. And it's 2-2. Even with whatever is ailing him, it doesn't seem to be affecting his performance in terms of results, which is pretty impressive. Two. That is strike three, and he limps off the mound and heads back to the dugout grimacing. But he just snapped off a beauty of a breaking ball to strike out JT Realmuto. Still 1-0 Washington.
A 1-0 lead as we head to the top of the 7th here at Marlins Park. Let's take a look at our Coors cold hard facts. Michael Taylor, one of 8 Nationals who hail from Florida, and these guys represent North Florida and South Florida. That list includes Gio Gonzalez. Guys, he is from Hialeah. He will take the mound for the Nats tomorrow. And a guy like Trey Turner, he talked about how he pulled for the Marlins growing up. He used to watch this team and how surreal it is to play against them now.
Yeah, Jess, there's a lot of talent in this state. That goes without saying. And Todd, you coming from the Cubs, you spent, what, eight years as the Cubs pre and post game on television. Cubs have some Florida talent as well.
Up in Chicago, no doubt. Javi Baez, Addison Russell.
Michael Taylor at the plate. Taylor takes in, well, 2 really impressive pitching performances here tonight. Sammy Solis in the Nationals pen. To right, Stanton is there. He makes the catch. Taylor lines out. Wednesday showdown is tomorrow night, driven by GMC. Gio Gonzalez, Dylan Peters, start number 2 in the major leagues. Marlins Live starts at 6:30. Tim Healy had a nice article about Peters and the advice that he's received while he's been up in the big leagues. Severino rolls it to Rojas. And before the first start, there was a lot of advice, right? Everybody gives you advice after the first start. But the advice for the second start is don't change anything, especially after the start that he made.
Wilmer Defoe is going to take the pinch hit at bat. A very nice season. His playing time has been cut into a little bit. Trey Turner is back, so he's filling more of a utility role. Picked up a couple starts in Milwaukee. He's done a very nice job tonight with his fastball and his fastball command, all 3 of them. 2-seamer, the 4-seamer, and that cutter.
Kyle Bearclaw in Miami's bullpen. Despaigne, so far a really nice start here. He's got 2 outs in the 7th. He's allowed just 5 hits. Defoe pulls that one off his foot. The hot teams in baseball, we were talking about Cleveland and Arizona. Cleveland 4-4 with the White Sox. That's only in the 2nd. In Chicago, Rockies have scored first against the Giants in Denver, 1-0, top 2nd. Milwaukee's down 2-0 to the Reds. It's now top 7. Roller out to short. Rojas on to first. How about Odrisamer Despaigne? 7 really nice innings. Nationals though on top 1-0. Game summary tonight. This is it. This is the only run of the night. This is early. This is second inning. And Pedro Severino, the 8-hitter, dumps one into right field. That knocks home Adam Lind. And the pitchers have taken over from there. Steven Strasburg and Odrisamer Despaigne. A floral cap can be yours. First 7,500 fans 21 and over get a Marlins floral cap courtesy of Corona Light. Marlins and Brewers at 7 o'clock on the 16th of September. Rich Waltz along with Todd Hollins with this is said floral cap, so that's a fine giveaway. The good news for the Marlins, no more Steven Strasburg. They have not been able to solve him. He shut him out in 9 innings last week and 6 shutout innings here tonight.
Well, in fact, if he was dealing with something physically, I suppose even more impressive. Last couple of innings, grimacing, still making effective pitches and using the entire arsenal. Well, Strasburg has proven that the 5-start stretch that he has been on, the best of his career, is going to continue. Another good one tonight.
So, as a hitter, if you've been watching this for 15 innings or however long it's gone, just a different look? Or are you feeling like all of a sudden, hey, look, now we got a little different look?
Well, he's locked in right now. He's got all 4 pitches working. I mean, it's pretty simple. I said it in the second inning. 4 pitches, 4 spots. He's going anywhere he wants, anytime he wants right now. If you're thinking slider, he's throwing curveball. If you're thinking fastball, he's going change. He's just locked in. And when you have an ace who's capable of doing that consistently, you merely hang in there and try and stay on the fastball as best you can. In fact, the Marlins have thrown some nice at-bats out there and have gotten some hits, just not able to put anything together.
95 pitches in. Odrisamer Despaigne is through 7. And that pitch is out. Emails and tweets, we'll dig back into those as well. And Miami's had traffic tonight. They had 6 hits. They had a hit each inning against Strasburg.
They have. They just, again, this is kind of the homestand really building, other than the one game where they scored 10 runs and everything was good.
Sammy Solis comes in, channels his inner Strasburg with a good sharp breaking ball and strikes out Derek Dietrich. Brings up Brian Anderson now. And then you got Miguel Rojas. Of course, the Marlins know that the back of the Nationals pen is refurbished, so to speak. They saw that trio last night of Kinsler, Madsen, and Doolittle. And don't forget Matt Albers, who's pitched quite well back there.
Fastball, curveball change for Solis. Got a big arm. 92 to 95 on the fastball. He's been pitching pretty well of late. Last 10 games, 2.89 ERA. Struggled with the Marlins this season in 4 games. Has an ERA just south of 9.
That one fouled out of play. Anderson trying to keep his streak of hitting in every game he's played in the major leagues. That's quite a streak. Of course, this is game 5. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. There is Matt Albers. A little half swing out to Daniel Murphy. That's the second out here in the 7th. Miguel Rojas now, who was 1 for 2.
Rojas, an outstanding at bat his last time up. And Steven Strasburg fouled off 3 or 4 tough pitches, ended up getting a big base hit to right field.
Ichiro has emerged on deck. Count 1-2. In the air, Worth in fair trade drops the ball. Flat out drops the ball. And Rojas is in at second base. It happens to the very best of them.
Worth pretty certain he's underneath it. Even goes to two hands. Everything textbook except for one thing. He's back over his arm side, not his glove side. And ideally, you'd like to catch it on the glove side, not on the arm side. That ball had some probably tailing action back towards the line, and that's what he ends up missing off the top of his glove. So one step too far to the left for Jason Worth. Costs him an error. 2 bases for the Marlins. Let's see if they can cash that in.
So you got a right-hander in Albers in the pen. Ichiro's going to get the at-bat against the lefty. And Don Mattingly may be thinking if he pinch hit a right-hander here to face the lefty, he might see Albers out of the bullpen.
Well, the one thing about September baseball, you can create just about as many matchups as you want out of your bullpen if you've called up a few guys.
Amen, brother. This is the month of expanded rosters. The Nationals, as you see, Ichiro against lefties, good this year. The Nationals have 5 lefties in their bullpen. 5. And 6 right-handers. Ichiro didn't like the call, and there's the reason why. Outfield playing Ichiro to left center, and not real deep in left is De Aza. Boy, that one's out as well. They hadn't thrown a pitch in the strike zone, and the count's 1-2.
Doesn't have to right now. Continue to get room out there. He's going to stay out there. Anticipate this even farther out.
And Ichiro has to chase it down. The count's 1-2. Pinch hit record is 28. Ichiro continues to climb up that list. 24. Fastball, and that may have actually been in the strike zone. Nope, that was out. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. See if he goes back to the curveball.
Ichiro putting together a nice at bat.
Big lead at second by Rojas. Ichiro rolls it up the middle. Murphy backhands, fires to first in time to get him. Marlins get a runner in scoring position, but leave him there. 8th inning coming. 1-0 Nats.
game here in the top of the 8th inning. We mentioned the Marlins' fine minor league teams, 2 of them going to the playoffs. And for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, their center fielders had an impressive year. And congratulations to Braxton Lee, who wins the Southern League Batting Championship. He had .309. He was acquired in the Echeverria deal with the Rays back in June. Hit well for the Montgomery Biscuits when he was a Ray. Hit well with Jacksonville. Also stole 20 bases, 37 ribbies. He's a speedy leadoff type of player. Walked 65 times as well, though they think that can improve for him. But he's a good leadoff guy for Jacksonville and a table setter and a nice addition to the Marlins organization. Congratulations on winning that AA batting championship. Now we'll try to lead the Jumbo Shrimp on in the playoffs against Pensacola.
All right, Craig, thank you. Kyle Bearclaw in the ball game for Miami. Marlins trying to keep it at 1-0. And the top of the order awaits Bearclaw. Trey Turner, Chopper, Anderson. He's been pretty smooth over at third base in his first week in the big leagues. 1 out.
That was a nice game tonight for the Nats. 2 for 3, couple of base hits, double and a single.
And a strike. Piazza's career with the Marlins a while ago. Marlins system from 05 through 09. Remember, there was one season, I think it was 2008. He was slated to start the season with the big club, had a great spring, and in the last exhibition game, I think it was against the Yankees up in the football stadium, badly injured his ankle running after a ball in left field. Chicago White Sox, Baltimore Orioles, Boston, San Francisco, Mets, Nationals. And he started with your old organization long ago, the Dodgers.
A couple of breaking balls from Bearclaw, trying to put Piazza away. Front door, won the back door. Back at him with a fastball.
Don Manley has to be thrilled. 7 innings of Adrisamer Despagne, 5 hits, a run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
More times than enough on this homestand, the offense, excuse me, the pitching has been good enough. Offense has just been dormant.
Look out. We're able to confirm in between innings that, in fact, Strasburg has been battling cramps in his calf. It would appear that he's having difficulty out there tonight. 2 outs. Dietrich getting to the bag. Fox Sports Supports proud to team up with Girls on the Run. Their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Learn more about how you can get involved by visiting foxsportsupports.com. Murphy has a hit. He very easily could have a home run and Stanton catch in right field in the 3rd. Murphy rips one to right and deep and gone. Well, Giancarlo wasn't going to go up and get that one. Daniel Murphy made sure of it. Murphy, who homered last night, has a solo shot here. And the Nationals lead is now 2-0.
Well, dangerous pitch, dangerous spot. 2-0 fastball. One of the best hitters in the league. He did not miss it. It's not the high arcing long home run. This more of the laser beam. Even that fastball to the inner third. Tremendous extension, uppercut, ball. Stays on his backside so long.
22 for Murphy. He's driven in 88 now. Breaking ball misses in to Rendon. Ball and a strike.
Only the second run by Bearclaw allowed. Last 11 appearances. Been really good. 18 strikeouts. Over 11 2/3 innings. Daniel Murphy, a very dangerous hitter. Good changeup by Kyle.
It's 2-2 on Rendon. It was Rendon who homered, drove in 4 last night. Murphy homered, drove in 3 last night. Murphy's got 2 hits and a solo homer tonight. Rendon so far 0 for 3. Matt Albers had heated up in that bottom of the 7th. Looks like he's ready to come in. Marlins have the top of their order coming up. Bottom 8, 3-2. Rendon shoots it right side. Busy night for Dietrich down there. Gets to the bag. But the Nationals had a run. Giancarlo in the top of the order coming up. 2-0 Nationals. for the Nationals. Now, other scores, National League in particular, wild card in particular. Bottom 7, Milwaukee's trailing Cincinnati. That's good news for the Fish. Colorado up over San Francisco, top 3. Cardinals in San Diego, that starts in a little bit, and Arizona in Los Angeles. That'll be an interesting series to watch. Diamondbacks are red hot. Gordon in the box, Solis still in there. Fires in a fastball for a strike. Albers, the righty, is in the pen and ready. Probably for Stanton. Although you got a lefty after Stanton and Yelich. D tonight 1 for 3. Singled in the 3rd. Florida Lottery in-game jackpot. Current hit streaks. Gordon at 9. Odubel Herrera's been at the top of the list because he's been on the disabled list. So even though he's on the DL, it's still a current streak. Gordon reaches back. Murphy from one knee throws him out. Dusty Baker's already on his way out to bring in Matt Albers. Albers comes in to face Stanton. Florida Lottery called to the pen. Lottery call to the pen. Enter your Lotto Fantasy 5 or all new Fast Play ticket in the Florida Lottery Game Day Cash promotion. You could win a 2018 Lazy Days RV motorhome, over $200,000 in cash prizes, bowl tickets, season tickets, and more. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Matt Albers arrives, and Giancarlo Stanton comes to the plate. For Stanton tonight, see Albers' numbers very, very good. I think an underappreciated and overlooked contributor out of the bullpen.
Sinker slider, occasional changeup, 2-to-1 ground ball to fly ball ratio this season. His fastball has a lot of tailing action to it. Look forward to working its way in on Stanton, where he will throw it off the plate away, hoping to get it back to the corner.
Albers at 93 with the fastball.
Five home runs allowed in 52 innings of work.
Six hits for Miami, all singles. Marlins have had a base runner in every inning 7th. Remember, Jason Worth dropped the Rojas fly ball. Rojas got to second. That's as close as the Marlins have come to sniffing a run. One and two.
Stanton able to check his swing. That two-seamer.
Two.
Tough pitch from Albers. Nice job by Giancarlo fouling that pitch off. Dialed up that low corner.
A swing and a miss, and Stanton goes down swinging. So Albers gets the strikeout. There are 2 outs here in the 8th.
Albers right at him. Two-seam fastball, tailing action back to the outside corner. Giancarlo right over the top. Unable to connect.
Brings up Yelich. And Yelich takes in.
Yelich a base hit his first time up. A couple of strikeouts after that.
Marlins face Gio Gonzalez tomorrow. Dylan Peters makes his 2nd major league start. We've got one guy who has one of the best curveballs in the business, and another guy who has just arrived on the scene, and he has a nice one. Yelich drives it left field down the line. De Aza is there, and he makes the catch in the corner. 3 up, 3 down. 2 pitchers work for the Nats. 9th inning arrives, 2-0. Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By the all-new Jeep Compass. And by your South Florida Honda dealers. Hurry into the Summerbration sales event today. The American Red Cross continues to bring much needed funds and help to those that have suffered under Hurricane Harvey. Visit redcross.org or text Harvey to 90999 to give a $10 donation. Drew Steckenrider out of the bullpen. Just a night of frustrations. It's been a familiar refrain, hasn't it? Marlins have dropped 7 of 8. Trouble scoring in all of those losses. Here tonight, they don't have a run to show for 8 innings of work.
Steckenrider, his first appearance in this series. Last time out, struck out 3, 4 outs. She got the save against the Philadelphia Phillies.
Adam Linds with a sweet swing. He's 2 for 3. Earlier we showed you Bryce Harper, and he was out throwing, testing that knee. And we've told you that many players, when they come to Miami, wait to get their haircut because of Hugo, Juice, and Bryce Harper. There you go. That ain't no middle of the mall cut is the caption for that. It's like Edwin Jackson got a pinch run for Lind. Nationals trying to add an insurance run here in the 9th. You got Worth and Taylor and Severino lined up.
Worth over 3 tonight, over 17. His current road trip.
Fastball in, Worth hits the deck.
A little run, certainly up near the head area. Jason Worth safely out of the way.
Ball and a strike. Jackson the runner at first. That one finds the seats. Worth and Real Muto, home plate umpire Brian Honora, all in conversation after that. Little breaking ball, flip to right. Stanton approaches, makes a catch. Michael Taylor now. Sean Doolittle in the Nationals bullpen, their closer.
Taylor 0 for 2 with a walk. Took over the center field role. Adam Eaton went down for the season late April. Very effective, 273 batting average, 20 doubles, 13 home runs, 38 RBIs. Steal a base for you as well. He's got 12 stolen bases.
Ball and a strike, in and out. But there's nothing wrong with Miami's pitching tonight, that's for sure. Jusimer Despagne, 7 innings, 5 hits, a run. Now Bearclaw did get touched for the Murphy homer. This is a Nationals team that leads the National League in just about every offensive category. Tough to win when you can't move the football. One foul back.
Steckenrider challenges him with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball in the inner third.
He went. Steckenrider gets the strikeout. And here comes Severino. In the bottom of this inning, Ozuna, Real Muto, Dietrich. Anybody reaches Anderson, Rojas.
Steckenrider's done very well over his last 4 appearances. Going back to that his last one in New York. He was only able to record 1 out. This was mid to late August. Certainly a tell of the poise and composure of Steckenrider. Ended up giving up 5 runs that day. He's bounced back ever since. Only given up 1 earned run since that performance.
His ERA back down about 2.5 now.
He has the poise and demeanor for late inning work.
Yeah, he reminds me, and he reminds a lot of others of when Kyle Bearclaw got to the big leagues a couple seasons ago. He wasn't there for the full season, but what you saw of him, you really liked, and you saw the potential to be a late inning guy in the big leagues with success. He's been able to get that trial simply by attrition, both the injuries and then the trades of Ramos and Phelps. It's going to be a tough play. Steckenrider's throw. And Severino's got himself a base hit. Ryan Zimmerman is going to come off the bench and get the at-bat for the Nationals.
Swinging bunt to the left side. Severino out of the box quick. Boy, he moves well for a catcher. Flying down the line. Picks up his 2nd hit of the ball game. Zimmerman 1 for 3 last night. See right there at the bottom of the screen. Had a double, a walk, base 2 times, scored a run.
Zimmerman had the night off. Adam Lind got the start at first, and Lind's been good tonight. He's 2 for 3 with a double. Steckenrider out front, 0-2.
Well, right at him.
Brewers are down 4-1 to the Reds. That's bottom 7 now. Rockies 2-0 over the Giants and 4. Got him. Steckenrider strikes out Zimmerman. Marlins down to the last 3 outs and down 2. Bottom 9 here. You can settle in tomorrow night for the Marlins and the Nationals. Gio Gonzalez and Dylan Peters. Peters gets his second major league start. His first one was terrific. And the last time Gio Gonzalez was here, he flirted with a no-hitter. So that's tomorrow night, 6:30 for Marlins Live. Ryan Zimmerman in the ball game. He's at first base.
Sean Doolittle into the ball game. This is a save opportunity. 14-14 with the Nationals. Fastball, slider, the occasional changeup. Saw last night, 94 to 96 miles an hour on that fastball. Loves to pitch at the top of the zone. Throws his fastball almost 89% of the time.
He really has been spectacular as a Nat, right? 14 of 14.
His bullpen has been much, much better since the acquisition of Madsen and Doolittle. Kinsler as well. It also took what talent, some of the talent that they had, and kind of put it in some better spots as well.
Ozuna takes a fastball low and inside.
One of the bright spots tonight, Marcell Ozuna, a couple of base hits. Signs of coming out of that little bit of a funk he's been in. 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Strasburg, redirected it into center field.
Doolittle worked the ninth last night. He walked the leadoff man, Derek Dietrich, and then struck out Anderson and Rojas. And he got Ichiro on a fly ball out to end it. Two and one. Nationals head home. They've got the Phillies for 4. Marlins head to Atlanta. That's after tomorrow night's game. Two balls, 2 strikes. Well, the Reds all of a sudden are just scoring a bunch of runs. 7-1 over Milwaukee. Marlins have yet to play Milwaukee here. That's next homestand.
Marcell continues to fight. So when you get on here, tying run to the plate here in the 9th. Marlins really only one big swing away if they can get somebody on.
Fights off at 2-2. Are there that many closers that just throw fastballs like this? I know you know Kelly Jansen throws a cut fastball.
Well, most it's their primary pitch. Usually you're talking about overwhelming velocity typically.
So how does Doolittle do it without overwhelming velocity? That one lands in right field with a base hit. Just the right spot. That was 96. Ozuna dumps it into right.
His 3rd hit of the ball game, 3rd consecutive hit. Nice job with 2 strikes, fighting that off, and getting it past the outstretched hand of Daniel Murphy. Nice job right there. Didn't try to do too much.
So how does he do it without the overwhelming velocity?
Well, he pitches at the top of the strike zone, moves the ball around effectively. Number 1, throws a lot of strikes, doesn't walk too many hitters. Walks are very, very rare from Doolittle, but he hides the ball well. It's 92 to 94, at times 95. Looks like 97.
That one pops away. Ozuna scampers down to second base. Like a pass ball off of Severino. Tough to hit and tough to catch sometimes. Ball and a strike. Real Muto, center field. And Taylor is there. Ozuna tags, and he's on his way to third.
Not able to get the extension he was looking for and got underneath it a little bit for JT. Frustrating night for the Marlins. Marcell Ozuna, just be safe. All is good.
Tyler Moore is going to pinch hit for Derek Dietrich. It was Moore who hit that fly ball last night. It's caught in left field. He fouls one back and out of play. Moore hit one that you thought was going out. Alejandro De Aza did a great job to get to the wall, get up, and get it. It was not the difference in the ball game, but it would have brought the Marlins within 3 runs. This is De Aza last night.
Nice job getting back to the spot, giving himself time, an opportunity to make the leap and the catch. Came into the ball game as a defensive replacement. Showed why.
Anderson on deck. More way out in front of that.
Well, that's the occasional changeup. Sean Doolittle didn't forget that swing from last night. Pushed back into his pocket. Pulled the circle changeout. Tyler Moore, one of the few that got up on a Doolittle fastball.
Moore sends that to right center. Worth is out there, makes the catch. Ozuna tags, and he will score. But the Marlins are still a run shy and down to the last out.
Well, Marcell Ozuna's good base running. Certainly set that up. Nice job by Tyler Moore coming through, using his off field to pick up the RBI. The Marlins on the board. It's been a while since they'd scored.
You got to go all the way back to the Stanton home run in the 5th inning of last night. Anderson fouls it back. John Doolittle in for the 2nd straight night. This is a save opportunity. Brian Anderson fouls it back. Anderson's modest hit streak of 4 games has not been extended. Just missed. 1-2. Anderson doing his best to keep this rolling. MLB.TV every night, every device, every out-of-market regular season game. Visit MLB.TV for details. Run across, but with 2 outs, a 1-2 count on rookie third baseman Brian Anderson. Sends a liner into the glove of Rendon, and the night is done. The Nationals win again, and the Marlins slide has reached 8 of their last 9 games. And tonight they muster just a run against 6 innings of Steven Strasburg and the Nationals bullpen from that point on. And a really nice start from Odrisamer Despaigne is wasted tonight. Marlins Live is coming up. It is 2-1 Nationals, a final from Marlins Park.